It has been a great month for horror movies. A24 throwing their movie into the mix here with The Backrooms. Does it follow the lore? Does it live up to the lore? Let's dive in. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Movie Dive. Today we're diving into The Backrooms by A24. I'm going to pronounce a lot of names wrong in this video. Before we do dive in, please don't forget to subscribe to the Movie Dive, ring the bell button down below to get notifications on the channel. The film directed by Kane Parsons. I think he's one of the creators of the original Backrooms. That was a YouTube series a few years ago. One thing I know about him is if he's really young. He's originally a YouTube video maker, and there's been a lot of those in the horror movie scene as of late, especially with Obsession that just came out a few weeks ago and is absolutely killing it at the box office. So people are starting to have a lot of trust in these creative forces that are coming off the YouTube realm. Now, The Backrooms is kind of like a cool concept that I've seen clips on YouTube before, clips on TikTok. I don't know too much of the lore, but it is a really creepy thought, something that definitely brings out some phobias in people, you know, bringing in never endless hallways. Everything's a little bit off. And I was really looking forward to the Backrooms movie to really capture that appropriately and bring those phobias out within you. When I did hear that he was directing the film, just a young director, I did have, of course, some red flags come up of knowing how good it might possibly be with a first-time director and someone being that young. But then again, we had actors like Ilana Glasgow, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, I'm terrible at names, and Jenny DePero. These are both really good actors, and they're not going to just pick up a random script from a 20-year-old if they don't believe there can be success in the movie. I will say first and foremost that The Backrooms definitely captures that creepy feel of going somewhere and being stuck. The set design is really cool. I feel like every single new room you go into, there's something different. There's something just kind of off that makes you feel odd while you're watching the movie, and that's definitely in a good way. There's a lot of times I see an original horror movie, for example, Obsession, and I'm thinking there's no way a sequel could be as good as the first one or better. In this case, I do think that Backrooms would be helped out a lot by actually having sequels later on in the future to kind of dive in more of the Backrooms. And there's a good sequence in this movie where it's that found footage type, which of course is a callback to the original YouTube videos. That part of the movie is where they most kind of show you different rooms and how odd everything can get, which was really cool. I'm not a big found footage guy, but I did like in particular this section of the film. And there are certain things that show that is a young director making the movie. There's some pretty deep aspects or some pretty heavy themes inside of the movie that I feel like weren't fully earned when they got there. The actors were doing a really good job of portraying what was supposed to be happening, but I feel like they were going for something that didn't fully capture my emotion, and I feel like maybe some more diving into that during the film could have helped out. But at the same time, the movie being longer wouldn't have made much sense either. So there's not much explained in this movie when it comes to the lore. I think if you know about it, it helps a lot. But me not knowing anything about the Backrooms lore, I was going in completely blind. I also didn't see any of the trailers going into this movie either because I want to be fully surprised. And there's definitely some switch up and some twists going on in this movie. Some of them, you know, made sense for the characters, but then again, it felt like it was kind of quick and I was like missing some aspects of where we were supposed to go with that. But overall, watching the movie, it's quite an enjoying film, and it kind of feels like you're watching a really good Twilight Zone episode. I could actually see The Backrooms being an 8-episode miniseries if they could bring this kind of production value to a miniseries. If this movie does well, I bet you there's going to be sequels. This is a type of movie where you can really, there's endless possibilities when it comes to The Backrooms. It doesn't mean you have to fully explain what's going on, so it kind of loses its mystery. I feel like there's still creepy stuff out there that were not explored, or some kind of scares and weird stuff going on that you could really get into. I think of the movie, for example, Annihilation, which was kind of, in a sense, the Backrooms out in nature because it is real life, but stuff is still off. And when the deeper they got, the more insane everything got. And that is a perfect movie in that aspect. This one, when it rounds out the end, didn't really have any idea what happened, and I don't feel like there was hints of what happened, which I think was kind of the point. There is that does happen in a lot of A24 movies where they want you to go on YouTube and look up explainer videos, which I'll certainly be doing. But for a movie overall, it was quite enjoyable. It wasn't scary. It was a mystery that I was really enjoying going down. I wanted to explore more myself. I wish it was a video game at the time. I could really go into different rooms and see what was going on. There's some creepy scenes in it. I'm excited to see what this director does in the future as well. And I will be interested in seeing if they do make sequels for The Backrooms. I'm going to go ahead and give The Backrooms a 68 out of 100. What did you guys think of it? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to The Movie Dive, and we will see you next time.